License and registration, please.
Of all the misperceptions law enforcement officers face, perhaps none is greater than the idea of diplomatic and consular immunity. In this scenario, for instance, the officer noted the Department of State license plates. Does that mean he just has to let him go? Are there no consequences to the driver just because he may have immunity? In fact, why do we even need to grant immunity? Let's start at the beginning. The idea of immunity is not new. Even in ancient Greece and Rome, special status was afforded to diplomatic envoys. Those basic concepts evolved and were codified in a series of multinational treaties that were signed in Vienna in the 1960s. These treaties grant varying levels of immunity to diplomatic and consular personnel and their family members. In essence, these immunity rules protect our diplomatic and consular personnel abroad when we post them to other countries. That's why we abide by the idea of immunity for these foreign officials. But that doesn't mean there are no consequences for their actions. Under the Vienna Conventions on Diplomatic and Consular Relations, persons with immunity have an obligation to respect the laws of their host nation.
Hey, what's the holdup? You see my license. I'm a diplomat. I have immunity. You can't arrest me. So give me back my papers and let me go.
Sorry, but no, sir. You're not going anywhere for a little while. So please get back in your car and turn off your engine.
Note that the first thing the officer did was ensure safety. His safety and the safety of the consular officer.
Wait for me in your car and I'll be back shortly.
The second thing the officer did was confirm the identity of the consular officer, noting the driver's U.S. Department of State ID card. The State Department's phone number is on the back of both the ID card and driver's license, and the department is available 24/7 to verify an official's identity and status. Even though the officer noted the Department of State plates and ID card, he still wanted to be sure they were valid. He also wanted to ensure the State Department was aware of this incident.
So, Mr. Smith, you're a consular officer.
Yes.
And you work for your country's consulate in Atlanta?
Yes.
Okay. I understand from the State Department that you have the immunity given consular officers, but I still can and will issue you a must-appear citation for reckless driving. The State Department and your embassy will be notified.
What does this mean, must appear?
It means that our driver, as a consular officer, has immunity only for his consular functions, so he has to appear before a criminal court for charges regarding non-official acts. This is the case for most consular officers, but there are some exceptions, so always call the State Department. If found guilty, the consular officer could face fines, points on his driving record, or a possible license suspension, which he must abide by notwithstanding his immunity status. So no arrest in this case, but definitely consequences for his action.
Please slow down now, Mr. Smith, and be safe.
Excuse me, ma'am. You're carrying items you didn't pay for. You need to come with me to the store security office.
What? No, it's a mistake. I'll pay.
I'm afraid it's too late for that.
Ma'am, store security called us because they have camera footage of you taking their clothing, hiding it in a bag, and leaving the store without paying. Now, since the amount of clothing exceeds $1,000, which makes it a felony in this state, I'm going to have to place you under arrest. Please place your hands behind your back.
Handcuffs? Arrest? No, you can't. My husband is a diplomat. I have immunity. You must let me go now.
I'm sorry, I can't let you leave until I can call the State Department to confirm your identity. Just please wait here while I give them a call.
The officer then asked her dispatch to connect her to the State Department. Again, the State Department is available 24/7 to verify any claim of diplomatic or consular status and the level of immunity.
Okay, the State Department confirmed that you are who you say you are and you do have diplomatic immunity. So no handcuffs and no arrest.
Yes, good. Thank you. It's all a big mistake. Please do not tell my husband, okay?
Sorry. No, it's not okay. I'll be writing up my report and sending it to the State Department. They in turn will contact your embassy to inform them of what happened.
Embassy? No, you can't. I have immunity. You can't do this.
Actually, she can and did. The State Department in turn informed her embassy that if they didn't waive her immunity so that she could face the felony charges in court, she would have to leave the U.S. And if she returned, She could face prosecution on the charges. So no, she wasn't arrested. In fact, knowing she was the spouse of a diplomat, the officer went out of her way to treat her with dignity and respect, but there were consequences for her actions nevertheless. Over the course of a year, only a very small percentage of diplomats break our laws. But when they do, the most common offenses involve traffic or moving violations. A rare few involve DUIs. In one case, a police officer noted a car traveling well over the posted speed and failing to stop for a red light. She also noted the Department of State diplomatic license plates.
Oh, I think I hit my car back.
When the officer approached the driver, she smelled the strong odor of alcohol on his breath.
Sir, are you okay?
Yes, I'm okay, but I hit this, no?
You hit this, yes. Have you been drinking?
Oh, only a few drinks, maybe.
Okay, well, I'd like to give you a few tests to see how many drinks. Why don't we start with a breathalyzer? Is that okay with you?
No, not okay. I'm a diplomat. No tests. Can I go now?
No, you're not going anywhere just now. Just let me see your State Department driver's license and ID. Okay, wait here while I make a call.
Again, note what the officer did. First, she ensured her safety and the safety of the driver by controlling the situation in a respectful but authoritative manner. Next, she called the State Department to verify the driver was indeed a diplomat and to report the incident.
Okay, just spoke with the State Department and they confirmed you have diplomatic immunity, so I can't arrest you. But I am going to issue you citations for reckless driving, running a red light, and failure to avoid a collision. And I'll be submitting a detailed report of this encounter documenting your impairment to the State Department.
Whatever. Can I go now?
No, I'm sorry, sir. It's not safe for you to drive in your condition. Who should I call to take you home? Do you want me to call a family member, or can I call you a cab?
Thanks to the detailed report from the officer, the State Department was able to take action. First, they notified the embassy of the incident. Then, even though the officer did not cite for DUI, the State Department, as the issuing authority for the driver's license, suspended the diplomat's driving privileges for a period of 6 months and ensured that the diplomat paid the fines to satisfy his other 3 citations. In this case, the embassy also took action against the driver. His assignment was terminated and he was recalled to his home country. In short, thanks to diligent action by the police officer, the driver found too late that his actions indeed had consequences. Again, the vast majority of individuals with immunity assigned to the United States or international organizations are law-abiding and scrupulous in their conduct. But when they do break the law, their immunity status does not mean no action will be taken, just the opposite. When local law enforcement officials contact the State Department to report an incident, the department can then employ a number of diplomatic tools to ensure that no one is above our laws.